Hey guys, it's Waz with a painboy on a bike. Right, here we go. I absolutely love when I make models like this, because it just, when people do stuff like this, it shows off how their skills have turned to being from mixing Games Workshop stuff with their own stuff, their own, a good quality model like this. And there's loads of people out there who are absolutely amazing at making models from Games Workshop models, if that makes sense. And I absolutely love sitting down and looking at other people's models and thinking, wow, what an amazing job they've done. So so if I can do that with my own models as well, then I think I've achieved something really good. And with this model, it just blows me away. I've made this model before. I made this model for someone else, and if you go back on my videos, you can see the model I made for someone else. I don't think I painted it though, but I certainly did do a very similar job. And again, I've had to build this model around the figure. Now the figure is cut in half. I don't use the bottom half of his body, and I've had to cut off the back part of the model too, which is here, sat here. That's where the back part of the model is. It's sat right there. Look, see, and then I built the rest of it. But then you have to lose the arm as well. Now I've said this many times before about, if you're going to build a model, you've got to make it look as realistic as you can. You've got to make it look like it would possibly work. The problem with most orc builders is they just stick a load. It's like they've put a load of GW bits in a bag, put some glue in it, shook it up, and brought it out and said, "There you go, that's orky," and it's not. I really hate it when people build a bike and they have this arm up here with whatever's going on in that hand, and then this arm up here with a pistol, and it's like no hands, and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Have you ever seen the ground that you lot war game on? It's rough as houses. It's not flat, smooth tarmac. It's rough ground. So there's no way on this planet this orc here would ride this bike over rough ground with no hands on his handlebars. Not a chance. So you've got to try and make it look like he's at least riding it, and it works. So unfortunately, you then have to lose his other arm, which has got detail on it. But when you model and make this type of thing that's going on here, you don't need that type of detail on this arm. There's no need for it. If this character has a pistol, then that's fine. Stick a pistol on the side of the bike. If he's got a grenade, fine. Stick a grenade on there. If he's got a shooter, stick a shooter on there. It doesn't have to be in his hand. I mean, why does it have to be in his hand? What's the reason it has to be in his hand? It doesn't. Make the model look like it works, and then you're almost there. So, from what I understood, last time I made it, when he's on a bike, he had three orderlies with him, or whatever. And so therefore, I put these grots there. So there's a bit of a sidecar going on. Again, look, I've made this like number plate thing, and I've not written anything on it yet. So they're all waiting to be wrote on. I actually use some of the detail of the actual model itself. So the painboy model, his detail is here. Look, so it is. I think that's part of his leg, one of his legs, and his boot is there. It's quite hard to see, but that is actually his boot. And I've just used it on this back platform thing here. It's like a storage bin. And I've just added little bits of detail. That's all I've done. I'm not the greatest of painters either, so I don't really know how to paint stuff like that. because I've seen some beautiful people have painted the painboy up amazingly well. So yeah, so that's it, guys. That's my painboy on a bike, and he turned out really well. I'm really pleased with him. I'm glad he's part of my army, because like I said before, I made this model before, or one similar to it, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the way he sat. I mean, you've probably already guessed, he's on a death copter. That's a death copter there, right there, and they're brilliant for making bikes. They're absolutely fantastic for a base model, for any bike, trike, whatever you're going to make. They're a fantastic base model for it. Even a little sight there, look, for the guns. I did some pin work here. So this is tissue paper. So what I did was I got a piece of metal pin. What I use garden wire. Let me just take it off. So I use a bit of garden wire. And all I did was, it goes all the way down, and then it's like an L shape at the bottom. So I put the pin in, put the L shape at the bottom, super glue it down. Then I get some tissue paper, super glue the tissue paper over the top, and then I cover it more with tissue paper. And then when the super glue dries, that dries like concrete, and these pins will never move, you see. And that's the base there. It's a very, very simple base. All these grass tough things, they're off eBay, and they're brilliant. I don't like the Games Workshop ones. I'm sorry, Games Workshop, but I really don't like yours, because every time I get them, they're always flat. They're never stuck up like this. They're just flat. And what I've started doing is I super glue these on now. They actually look like they're coming off a little bit on this, so I might have to revisit that. I used to use PVA glue, but they used to take forever to stick, and they've got like a sticky back of these things. So if you put a bit of super glue on it and then stick it down, they almost stick instantly. And I've started doing that. I hate using super glue, especially for plastic, but super glue is brilliant for everything else other than plastic. Never use super glue on plastic. That's my advice. If you're going to take anything away from this video, don't use super glue on plastic. But however, use super glue on these graph tough things. And I get them off eBay. I think I pay about £2.50 and you get a pack of 50 of them. And you get them all in all different, like this, with flowers looking type things on them. So let's see if I can stick this back on here, because I think I've just bent the pin a little bit. So it might be a bit difficult for me to get it back in, but I might be able to do it. Is it going to go in? Yes, it's going to go in. And again, I haven't glued this onto this base because there's no need to. So if I need to change anything, I can just pull it off the base because it's pinned in. It's pinned in now. So once I've pushed that down and that's moving around the battlefield, you're not even going to notice. It was a bit of a squeeze getting it onto this base, but I really wanted to base it. I do like basing. I love basing. I think they add a bit of character to the model as well. Yeah. So that's that. So guys, that's my painboy on a bike for my my Speed Freak Army board, Army on Parade board 2019, if I decide to go ahead with it. A bit unsure at the moment. We'll see how this whole Speed Freak thing goes, because I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of Speed Freak Army on Parade next year. So, you know, they're all going to be using all these new models, and that's going to be a nightmare for me, because I like making my stuff like this from, you know, a bit of a conversion job, and everyone's going to be getting blown away by these new Army on Parade models, Speed Freak stuff. So I might be on a losing streak there. So I might, you know, we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. You know me, guys. I change my mind like the wind. So, right, that's it, guys. I'm going to leave you to it. Hopefully the next video I do will be later on today, and that will be the Killer Cans video. And I better show you a bit more of them, the killer cans. I do love this model. It is one of my favourite models. I've just made so many good models, and I love them all, and it's great. I absolutely love this hobby. It's awesome. I like being paid to do this hobby as well. So that's my next step. Anyway, right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please share my videos. Please tell your friends about my videos. Let's get my channel up and running and booming, and so I can make more models and show you all the shit I can do. Right, thanks again, guys. Speak to you later.